Okay, so a question that comes up really often is, how do I make my consumer group right here, my first application, how do I make it replay data? Okay, because right now, if I restart it, it's just going to read from wherever it has the offsets been checked out. So I'll stop my consumer, and you have to stop your consumers, and then we run the Kafka consumer groups command. And so this command, if we have a look, you actually can have an option to reset the offsets. And reset the offsets means that for a defined consumer group, you're going to say where it should start reading from again. And so you can choose one of the following options: to date time, by period, to earliest, to latest, shift by, and from file. So for this example, I'll just play with to earliest, which means start at the beginning again. Okay, but you can play with all these options as an exercise and see how you go. Okay, so let's see how we go. So we'll do Kafka consumer groups. The Bootstrap server is localhost 9092. The group is my first application. And we are considering a reset of the offsets to earliest. So that should be all right. Press enter. And we get an error. So it's always good to keep errors. I love to keep errors. And so it says, no action will be performed as the -- execute option is missing. So this is just to do a dry run, okay? And so let's do it. We'll do -- execute, press enter. And this one time we get another error. So let's have a look. And the error being, one of the reset scopes should be defined. All topics or topic. And that's right, we need to specify the topic of which we want to reset the offsets. So let's go ahead and say, now I want to reset the offsets for the topic, first topic. Okay, and that should be all right now. Press enter. And as we can see, yes, it says for my first topic, partition 2, 1, and 0, the new offset is 0. So what happens now if we restart our consumer on the right-hand side? Well, we should see all the data all over again. So that makes sense, right? Now, if I run Kafka consumer groups, and I'm going to do a describe operation, so let me just find it, describe. Again, now we see that the log end offsets and the current offset is the same and the lag is 0. So what we expected. Now we can just play with another command. So I'll stop this consumer and we can say reset, okay? And we look at the other options. So let's look at the documentation just to play with another option. And we'll play with the option called shift by. So let's have a look at the documentation. We can do shift by and the number of offsets. So say we want to shift by 2 and have a look what that does. So we'll do, instead of to earliest, we'll do shift by 2. Enter. And now we say, okay, this is great. We are new offsets 10, 12, and 13. So shift by 2 means shifting forward. We want to shift backwards, obviously. So we'll do shift by -2. And now we get new offsets 11, 8, and 9. So using this, you can shift forward or backwards for your Kafka consumer groups. So now we should be able, if we start our consumer on the right-hand side, we should be able to see 6 messages. And here we go, 6 messages. So it did shift by 2 offsets on each partition. And so that's about it. With this 3 commands, you get a lot of power and you can start administering your producers, your consumers, your consumer groups, and do a bunch of stuff with them. So I hope that was helpful. I hope there was some learning, and I will see you in the next lecture.